Mark and Sarah had what everyone called the perfect marriage. High school sweethearts, they'd built a beautiful life together over 15 years. They had 2 wonderful kids, a lovely home in the suburbs, and a circle of friends who admired their seemingly unbreakable bond. Mark, a dedicated architect, worked hard to provide for his family. Sarah, a freelance graphic designer, had the flexibility to be there for the kids while pursuing her creative passions. From the outside, their life was a storybook romance, a testament to love and commitment. But behind the closed doors of their picture-perfect home, a secret was festering, one that Sarah had guarded with meticulous care for nearly half a decade. This secret was a ticking time bomb, and one small, careless mistake was all it would take to detonate it, shattering their perfect world into a million irreparable pieces. It all started 5 years ago. Sarah had taken on a new client, a charismatic author named Julian. Their professional collaboration quickly blossomed into a friendship. They shared a passion for art and literature that she and Mark, with his pragmatic, structured mind, didn't. The conversations with Julian were exhilarating, a spark of excitement in her predictable, comfortable life. At first, it was innocent. Sarah told herself it was just a friendship, a harmless escape. But the line between friendship and something more began to blur. For the next 5 years, Sarah lived a double life. The guilt was a constant heavy weight on her chest, but the thrill, the feeling of being seen and desired by Julian, was a powerful addiction. She justified her actions by telling herself she wasn't hurting anyone. She was still a good wife, a devoted mother. She was playing with fire, but she had become so adept at managing the flames that she believed she would never get burned. Mark, for his part, was completely oblivious. He trusted Sarah implicitly. Why wouldn't he? She was the love of his life, the cornerstone of his world. If he noticed her being a bit more distant at times, or more attached to her phone, he chalked it up to the stress of her work. He was a man who saw the world in black and white, in blueprints and straight lines. The concept of such a profound betrayal from the person he trusted most was simply not in his architecture. He was happy. He loved his wife, his kids, his life. He saw the beautiful facade Sarah had constructed and believed it to be the solid foundation of their home. He had no idea the foundation was riddled with cracks, about to crumble under his feet. The unraveling began on a completely ordinary Tuesday evening. Mark had come home early, hoping to surprise Sarah and the kids. He walked in to find the house quiet. The kids were at a friend's house, and a note on the counter said Sarah had popped out for groceries. Smiling, he decided to use the family's shared tablet to look up a recipe for dinner. He wanted to cook for her, a small, romantic gesture. He opened the web browser, and the page that loaded was not a search engine or a news site. It was Sarah's email. I'd forgotten to log out. Normally, Mark wouldn't have dreamed of snooping. Privacy was important. But the subject line of the top email caught his eye, a jolt of ice in his veins. It read, "Our anniversary." It was from a name he didn't recognize, Julian. His heart started pounding in his ears. Our anniversary. Their wedding anniversary wasn't for another 3 months. His mind raced, trying to find a logical explanation. Maybe it was a client, a work project anniversary. But his gut told him otherwise. With a trembling hand, he clicked on the email. The words on the screen swam before his eyes, each one a separate blow. 5 years, my love. 5 years since that first night. I can't wait to celebrate with you next week. Same place, same time. I'll book the room. All my love, J. Mark scrolled down. It wasn't just one email. It was a thread, a long, winding history of a relationship he knew nothing about. There were mentions of secret meetings, whispered sweet nothings, and photos. Photos of Sarah with this man, Julian. They were laughing, holding hands, kissing. They looked happy as he thought she was with him. Yet the world tilted on its axis. Every memory of the past 5 years flashed through his mind, now tainted and twisted. Every business trip she took, every late night she worked, every vague explanation for her whereabouts was all a lie. The woman he had loved and trusted for more than half his life was a stranger. The foundation of his entire world had just been reduced to dust. He felt a profound, hollow emptiness, followed by a surge of white-hot anger. He clicked through the emails, one after another, each one a new layer of betrayal. He learned about their special restaurants, their private jokes, the pet names they had for each other. He was reading the script of his wife's secret life, and it was a gut-wrenching, soul-crushing performance. When Sarah walked through the door an hour later, humming a cheerful tune, grocery bags in hand, she found Mark sitting at the kitchen table, the tablet in front of him. The look on his face stopped her cold. It was a look of absolute devastation, a mask of pain and fury she had never seen before. Her smile faltered. "Mark, is everything okay?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. He didn't answer. He just slowly turned the tablet screen towards her. On it was a photo of her and Julian, their faces close, her head resting on his shoulder. Sarah's blood ran cold. The grocery bag slipped from her grasp, oranges and apples tumbling across the floor, the sound echoing in the sudden, deafening silence. There was no explanation, no lie she could spin. The truth was right there, stark and undeniable. The confrontation was not the shouting match Mark might have imagined. It was worse. It was quiet, suffocating. His voice was unnervingly calm, each word laced with a deep, chilling pain. 5 years, Sarah? 5 years? She could only nod, tears streaming down her face, shame and regret washing over her in a tidal wave. She tried to explain, to talk about her loneliness, about the spark she felt was missing, but the words felt hollow, like pathetic excuses for an unforgivable betrayal. She had gambled with her family's happiness and lost everything in a single moment of carelessness. Mark listened, but he wasn't really hearing her. He was hearing the echoes of 5 years of lies. He was seeing the ghost of another man in his home, in his life, in his wife's heart. In the days that followed, their beautiful house became a cold, silent prison. The perfect family was broken. Mark moved into the guest room. The love and warmth that once filled their home were replaced by an icy tension. They had to tell the children that their dad was going to be staying somewhere else for a while, a conversation that shattered what was left of Mark's heart. Sarah's carefully constructed world had not just crumbled, it had exploded, leaving behind a field of emotional debris. She had lost her husband, her family's trust, and her own self-respect. The thrill she had chased with Julian now seemed like a cheap, tawdry thing compared to the authentic, profound love she had so carelessly thrown away. The single mistake of not logging out of her email had exposed the truth, proving that no secret, no matter how well kept, can stay hidden forever. And sometimes, the truth doesn't set you free. It just reveals the cage you've built around yourself. Thank you for watching. If you've ever dealt with a difficult situation in a relationship, know that you're not alone and support is available. Please consider subscribing for more stories.